What's up, guys? My name is Mike of Coed Gaming, and a crazy discovery was made regarding the two Death Stranding trailers within the last few days. As we all know, last Saturday was the PlayStation Experience, but one day before that, on Friday, Hideo Kojima and Kojima Productions revealed the second Death Stranding trailer, revealing two familiar faces, Guillermo del Toro and Mads Mikkelsen, who has been rumored to be involved in Death Stranding for several months. Guillermo del Toro, as we all know, was involved with Hideo Kojima in the development of the now cancelled Silent Hills. Del Toro has said in multiple interviews that he wants to do something with Hideo Kojima, but that he would never get involved in gaming ever again. Well, we can now see that was all hot air. Guillermo del Toro is involved in Death Stranding, although his role is not very clear, as it's not 100% known if he's going to be a character or just involved on the creative end, behind the scenes. Where Mads Mikkelsen, on the other hand, is without a doubt playing a character, as he's now listed in the cast. It is assumed right now that Mads Mikkelsen will be playing the antagonist, however, that could change as new information comes to light. Now, while these trailers sparked a ton of discussion online and got more people even more hyped for Death Stranding than they already were, something hidden in plain sight has been driving the internet up the wall within the last few days. Now, the first time I ever heard about this was actually when Steven emailed me late last night as I'm recording this. He sent me a Kotaku article showing how if you play both the reveal trailer for Death Stranding, the one shown at E3, with now the new trailer that was shown the day before the PlayStation Experience at the Video Game Awards, if you play these two trailers side by side at the same time, some pretty wild stuff goes down. When both trailers are played simultaneously back to back, which I will do right now, we can see that there are a series of events that seem to take place in conjunction with one another across the two trailers. What do I mean by that? Well, it's actually really simple. The main focus is the baby, because it's the most obvious thing that we can see. Now, as we all remember, in the reveal trailer for Death Stranding, when Norman Reedus is holding the baby, appropriately dubbed Norman Fetus, at one point while he's holding the baby to his chest, the baby disappears. Now, this has been a topic of question for quite a while, ever since the trailer was revealed. Where did the baby go and what does it mean? Well, we may actually have our answer with the second trailer. Because as Guillermo del Toro advances through the trailer, he's holding what looks like a biomechanical tank. He also plugs in what looks like a biomechanical umbilical cord, and when he does, the baby appears. However, when both trailers are played at the same time, the second the baby appears in Guillermo del Toro's tank is when the baby disappears from Norman Reedus' arms. What does this mean? Well, it draws all the way back to the necklace that Norman Reedus was wearing in the first trailer, with all of the dog tags with the mathematical equations relating to the Dirac equation and Schwarzschild radius. Now, a quick refresher, those relate to black holes and interdimensional travel, because as we all know, in works of fiction, black holes are known to transport you to other dimensions. That's been a topic of discussion around Death Stranding for several months, ever since the game was first shown off at E3, that the game will feature time travel, or at least different dimensions, separate worlds, alternate realities. Well, this is evidence that that might be true. So what's being talked about right now across Kotaku, the Death Stranding subreddit, and several other places like 4chan and the NeoGAF forums, is that Death Stranding may feature, yes, it may feature time travel and interdimensional travel, but what we see here is a character, in this case the baby, completely leaving one world and going to another. I mean, there's Norman Reedus holding the baby, and then suddenly, bam, it's gone. And then it just happens to appear inside of Guillermo del Toro's tank. In addition, the final shot of the original Death Stranding trailer, again the one shown at E3, features 5 ominous figures in the sky. Those 5 figures look down at Norman Reedus and assumedly the entire world, and then they zoom in and slowly fade away. It wasn't explained who they were or where they were going or even what their purpose was. However, now when we put both trailers side by side, we have a little bit more of an idea. See, when Guillermo del Toro looks down the dark tunnel in the second trailer, right at the moment when the 5 ominous figures in the sky fly away, is when 5 soldiers appear in front of Guillermo del Toro in the tunnel. 4 of which are using old Woodstock World War II style rifles with World War II helmets and World War II military uniforms. However, Mads Mikkelsen is then revealed to be in the very front, controlling all of these soldiers with the biomechanical umbilical cords. Again, going back to the rope theory that Kojima has talked about. These 5 soldiers, Mikkelsen included, all appear at the exact moment that the 5 figures in the sky disappear. So now the discussion is becoming, are these characters bosses? Because in the original trailer, when the 5 figures were shown, they looked important, they looked ominous, and they certainly looked powerful. But we didn't know who they were. A lot of people discussed the idea of them being the bosses of the game, that we would then encounter much, much later in the game. Well, that could still be true, but what we have now are these 4 soldiers and Mads Mikkelsen controlling them, which still adds up to 5, coming into frame at the exact same time, implying that the 5 soldiers and the 5 ominous figures are the same people. This is getting wild. I mean, I know Hideo Kojima wants to take us on a ride, but this is getting out of hand now. I mean, we have trailers going back to back to reveal interdimensional travel and alternate realities and stuff like that. People, this is insane. I mean, if a 3rd trailer drops anytime soon, I can't even begin to imagine what it's going to mean for the rest of the game. I mean, if these 5 figures are indeed the bosses, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Mads Mikkelsen will be a boss, if not the antagonist. But the other 4 soldiers, they could be anything. I mean, they don't look like bosses because they all look very similar. Bosses tend to be very unique and memorable in their appearance, where these 4 soldiers that Mikkelsen is controlling really all look about the same, with the exception of Mikkelsen using a modern assault rifle and modern equipment. But now the discussion has only just begun, because now we have these 2 trailers to compare, and the idea of interdimensional travel and characters traveling in between worlds, this is blowing my mind. I had no idea that this could ever get this crazy. I mean, I knew Guillermo del Toro, I knew Hideo Kojima's next game was going to be crazy and take us on a ride, but not like this. Not where the entire world is coming together, trying to figure out what is going on here. But you know what? That's exactly what Kojima wanted, so for that, I salute him. Guys, make sure to give your input in the comments below, and if you noticed anything that possibly Steven or myself or even Kotaku didn't notice, please put it out there, because we need everyone to come together to crack this case and solve this mystery, because it's pretty clear that we are on a wild hunt for the answers in Death Stranding, and I think that the hunt has just begun. Make sure to check out the rest of Coed Gaming, and as always, take it easy. What's up, guys? Thanks so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you haven't gotten a chance to already, make sure to check out last week's video, which can be found right here. Also, if you haven't gotten a chance to already, make sure to like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. And while you're at it, make sure to check out the rest of Coed Gaming, where we upload gaming videos every single week. And as always, game on.